It's 4:30. This is WKYT This Morning. Heavy rains have left several central Kentucky roads flooded. But more on that and today's forecast. It's just ahead.
A lightning strike led to a mess in a Powell County neighborhood. More on the only residue that spilled into the air.
And a Richmond man is asking for help this morning after irreplaceable family pictures were stolen from him. What you could do. Ahead on WKYT This Morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you. It is Tuesday, August 2nd, and we're glad you're on WKYT to start off this day. I'm Bill Bryant.
I'm Rebecca Smith. Some of the kids out there actually preparing for their days of school.
That's right. Some of them already back to school, others on the way. Today is also a WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day, as we have had some more of those downpours that have caused troubles.
Yeah, and we're still having that early this morning with those flash flood warnings down south for parts of Pulaski County off into Rockcastle. It's most of Rockcastle. And then as you roll your way southbound into most of Laurel County and then affecting southern portions of, say, Jackson County, which involves McKee, go down 421 all the way to the Howard Rogers Parkway. That's where the heaviest rain is located at this moment, is right across that 421 and Howard Rogers Parkway interchange. And that is going to be that Manchester region sliding eastbound. More than likely, you'll see at least a couple of more flash flood warnings in these areas, especially when you get into the hills and mountains and it just slides on down into the lower lying valleys. So all that's moving east. The most likely chance to actually see some rain is in the southern half during the morning hours. By the afternoon, most of that rain is long gone. Actually, by about 10 to 11 a.m., virtually all the rain is gone. So we'll be watching that, and hopefully we can really give you some positive news and drying out the next few days, hopefully. We'll get into that coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, we'll see you then. Thank you.
Several inches of rain turned into Clark County creeks. They turned them into raging rivers.
Much of the flooding was in the old Boonesboro Road area, not far from Winchester. Some people ended up being stranded in their homes because the water was so high. Monique Blair continues our First Alert Weather Team coverage.
This was the sound those who live in Clark County heard on and off all day Monday. But the water rose quickly, leaving many people amazed.
When I came out from town, and the creek was almost up to 627, and I've never seen that either.
And after a day of intense rainfall, some homeowners even found themselves stuck.
Hey guys.
Michael Flack's driveway on Old Boonesboro Road disappeared under several inches of rainwater. Even so, he found a way to come over and talk to us.
I'm a little wet here.
This high water,
It was just sweeping whitewater crazy.
is something Flack says he has never experienced in his 3 years living here.
My brother has lived right down the street for like 15 years, and he said the same thing. I have never seen it flood like this.
Right now I'm standing on the edge of Michael Flack's flooded front yard, and where I'm standing the water is about 6 inches deep. Flack says this creek that typically runs in front of his home is only about 1 foot deep and 10 feet wide.
And it was just too much for this little lower Howards Creek to take.
Flack says he isn't too concerned because he knows as fast as this water went up is just about as fast as it will go down.
See the beauty of it, right?
So with a wave, Flack headed back home, the only way he could.
Gotta get back home, buddy.
In Clark County, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Yesterday, several roads in Clark County were closed because of high water. This morning, police say all of the roads are back open there. A few streets briefly flooded out in the Gardenside neighborhood of Lexington last night. Witnesses say someone tried to drive through a flooded parking lot off Lancel Road and got stuck. Firefighters were called out, but the water had gone down by the time they arrived. The driver had gotten to safety without help. No injuries were reported in Lexington because of the flooding last night.
A lightning strike led to quite a mess in a Powell County neighborhood. Investigators say lightning hit the gas substation of a pipeline yesterday near Winchester Road in Clay City. The owner of the pipeline, Kinder Morgan, says its emergency shutdown system was then activated and natural gas was safely vented into the air. But an oily residue also spewed up into the air, and much of it landed around a nearby home in the road. The woman who lives in the home says she now has a lot to clean up.
It's kind of aggravating having to clean everything, all the oil, and then worrying about my kids being outside in any of it, and also my outside animal as well.
Crews cleaned up the oily substance from the road. The EPA was also called out to the scene to take a look at the substance. Investigators do not, they say, think it put anyone in danger. Remember, we can help you track storms with the WKYT Weather Plus traffic app. You can download it for free in the app or Google Play stores.
A man was taken to the hospital after an overnight crash in Lexington. That happened about 10 o'clock last night on Hume Road near Bryan Station Road. Police say a car ran off of the road and hit a utility pole. Only the driver was in the car. Police say he was taken to the hospital and had non-life-threatening injuries. The road was shut down for a while because the utility pole fell across the road. It is now back open this morning. About 17 customers were without power until about 4 o'clock this morning. And a crash caused a lot of damage at a historic cemetery in Lexington. It happened over the weekend at Cove Haven Cemetery on Whitney Avenue near Newtown Pike. Cemetery managers say a driver trying to get away from police ended up crashing his car into the cemetery's wrought iron fence Saturday morning. The crash also damaged a couple of headstones near the cemetery. Cove Haven Cemetery is more than 100 years old. Cemetery managers say it will cost thousands of dollars to repair the damage. A Richmond man is asking for your help this morning, getting back some priceless mementos that were stolen from him.
He says burglars took a couple of fire safes from his home. Inside one of those safes were some family pictures that he says cannot be replaced. Garrett Weimer has the story.
If a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Me and my dad in a UK game. And
Kenny Bird had lots of stories to tell.
my grandfather, World War II, photos of me and my family when I was a child, my grandparents, my parents, some when I was in college.
But now entire chapters are erased. He says someone stole the fire safes where he stored the photos, flash drives of pictures, and other valuables.
They came in through this window.
Some of the photos he had copies of, but many more he doesn't.
It's going back in time, and you know, you can't replace this.
Bird says he's forgiven whoever took his stuff, and he doesn't want to press charges. He just wants his photos back.
Basically, no questions asked. If they want to leave it at my doorstep, mail them to me without a return address, put them in my mailbox, just get them back to me. You know, they really strike dear to my heart, these photos do.
They're chock full of memories.
Yeah, he passed away in 1993.
Some even passed down through generations.
He had a lot of great stories about World War II, and he was a great man, and my grandmother was a great woman. And
missing pages now of the past he cherishes.
You know, all we have is our memories, and especially with my grandparents and a lot of those that are passed on now, and this kind of stuff is priceless.
In Richmond, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Bird says his EKU class ring, high school championship rings, and other items like his passport were also in the safes. In addition to filing a police report, he says he's also checked local pawn shops and even dumpsters in the neighborhood.
A Laurel County mother who police say went on the run with her 5-year-old son has given us her side of the story from jail. Police say 31-year-old Jamie Allen nearly hit a Laurel County Sheriff's deputy with her car when she drove away from them Saturday. They say her son was in the car with her. Police say they were trying to arrest Allen for missing a DUI court appearance. Allen told us she ran from police because she was trying to protect her child.
He knows that I'm not really a bad person. Like, he knows that I was running from the law because I missed the court date, because I didn't want to go to jail. He knows that.
Police say when they arrested Allen Saturday night, she pulled a knife on them and got into a scuffle. She is now facing multiple charges, including attempted murder of a police officer. The child was not injured. Allen says she was not under the influence when this all started, but was by the time she was arrested.
We have an update on a Central Kentucky woman badly injured in a cycling accident in France. In a Facebook post yesterday, former state auditor Bob Babbage said his wife Laura is making more progress at UK Hospital. He says she's able to open her eyes, follow basic commands, and sit up with assistance. She's expected to be in the ICU for a few more days before being transferred to another part of the hospital. Family members say Laura Babbage suffered a serious head injury last month while riding a bike in a competition that ran in conjunction with the Tour de France.
Well, WKYT this morning is just getting started. It's great to have you along with us. 4:39 right now on your Tuesday.
I can attest to this one. Pregnancy, yeah, it definitely changes a woman's body. How more research could help women bounce back sooner? I'd love to hear this in today's Mom's Everyday Minutes after the break.
We have some heavy rain down toward the south and southeast, little bits and pieces to the north. When does this actually move on out? We actually have improving conditions. That's coming up next. Still have some heavy rain down toward the southeast early this morning. This has been a system that has just thrown one shower. It's not so much a lot of thunderstorms. It's mainly just some heavy showers rolling across the region, but it's been one after another. And as we track back the past 24 to 36 hours, these models are not picking up on this very well. This is a piece of energy just kind of thrown off from the piece of energy back toward the west, and still experiencing some storms out there early this morning and some flash flood warnings too. And that goes for Clay County, Jackson, Laurel, Pulaski, and Rockcastle until 9 a.m. It's mainly for the northern portions of Pulaski, like Science Hill, like Eubank area, and then work your way back towards, say, Mount Vernon, Crab Orchard, down toward London, Corbin area. Well, Corbin's actually out of it, but the London area is in that, along with portions of Rockcastle as well. The heaviest rain at this moment now is past Manchester, but watch out for some flash flooding going on near the Hal Rogers Parkway, at least around that 421 corridor as well. Barberville getting in on the mix too, down 25 east. And this will roll right down the Hal Rogers Parkway. Buckhorn, you're next in line if you're not experiencing the heavy rain just yet. Hazard, I would say Hazard, you have another 30 minutes or so before the heaviest part rolls through. Another 15 to 20 there in Hyden across 421 in Harlan. You're about to get on the mix here in about 10 to 15 minutes. Up north, not really heavy rain. You're getting brief showers here and there. Across the Mountain Parkway, a lot of this is moving toward the northeast. This is a spin in the atmosphere down toward the southeast. Is throwing showers outside, and it is just heavy in some spots, and it's causing some flooding. There's no doubt about that. We go through the day. Look what happens in towards your noontime and afternoon. 8 a.m., still some showers, thunderstorms going on, especially down south and southeast. But look toward noontime. It's mainly dry. Still can't rule out a chance of rain at noon. There's a slight chance. But then toward the afternoon, it's mainly dry too. So we're drying some things on out. It's not fully dry. Still a slight chance later on today. But nonetheless, at least we're trying to dry some things on out. Improving conditions, though, that's what really we're going to be focusing in on the next few days, because we need it. We absolutely need this ground to dry on out. It's kind of hard-pressed to actually even get out there and knock out some of these yards, mowing some of these yards. The next best chance at rain will be towards your weekend. So look at what those percentages are. Tomorrow, 20%. Thursday, 30. Friday, 30. Saturday and Sunday, that's where you get those 40, maybe even 50% chances of rain. So really the next few days off throughout the rest of the work week actually looks much better. Still not fully dry, but much better than what we saw yesterday.
Well, we could use it. A big
rounds of
mess
rain.
in Clark County and the water rescues we've had in southern Kentucky. It's been quite a mess.
Absolutely.
All right, Micah, thank you. It's coming up on 446. Even avid runners may find that pregnancy really takes a toll on the body.
No idea what they're talking about. Yes, a lot of idea what they're talking about, right? Today's Moms Every Minute, though, looks at the effort it takes to help us moms get our stride back after the baby.
It's a great stress relief for me. It keeps me healthy and active.
Megan Shanning started running in high school and was right back at it when she had her first 2 children.
Right after I had my 3rd child, it was more of a, let's try to go for a run. Now I'm in pain. Now I'm disappointed and frustrated. I would get a lot of pain in my hips and upper legs, and it just didn't feel like any other pain that I've experienced before running.
And I don't know of anybody who's actually been through a pregnancy that hasn't had some sort of a low back issue or some sort of pelvic issue, because it does put a lot of strain on your body.
Megan still doesn't know why this pregnancy affected her running differently, but she's thrilled to be back at it.
And it's starting to feel like my old, this is a stress relief, I feel good, I like this, I feel better after a run.
And there's some practical advice for getting back into activities after pregnancy, even for experienced runners.
Start slow.
At the very beginning, I could run for 1 minute and walk for 4 minutes, and now I'm up to 20 solid minutes of running without pain.
There's a great study published actually by a set of PT students in a very small journal where they looked at moms pushing a stroller, and they looked at them and compared that to jogging. And they found that you get the same cardiovascular benefit from actually pushing the stroller as you do with light jogging.
For these tips and more, go to WKYT.com, click on Moms Every Day.
So you can relate to that,
Hashtag
huh?
the struggle's real.
Okay.
Yes.
The struggle is real. 4:47 is our time on WKYT this morning. 13 before 5 here on your Tuesday.
More details coming out about the pilot of a hot air balloon that crashed, killing 15 people. We'll have the latest on that coming back when we come back.
Hey, welcome back in. WKYT This Morning is on the air, and good morning to you at now 4:50. We're learning more about the criminal past of the pilot of the hot air balloon that crashed over the weekend in Texas, killing all 16 people on board.
As Omar Villafranca tells us, investigators are also still trying to figure out what led to the tragedy.
The hot air balloon ride came to a fiery end 8 miles from the launching point. Just after 7:40 a.m. on Saturday, investigators believe the balloon hit high-tension power lines 140 feet in the air. The balloon was found 3/4 of a mile away.
I looked off over there, and the next thing I knew, you saw a big fireball go up.
The pilot, Alfred Skip Nichols, was among the 16 victims. Nichols ran Heart of Texas hot air balloon rides. The 49-year-old had a license to pilot the balloon, even though court records show Nichols had been arrested several times for driving while intoxicated in Missouri. Nichols was not required to disclose those arrests to any aviation authority. In 2009, Mark and Carol Bursick say Nichols piloted their hot air balloon ride near St. Louis. 20 minutes into the ride, the balloon crashed into the Mark Twain National Forest. Nichols told the family he ran out of fuel. No one was seriously hurt. The family sued and settled out of court.
He shouldn't have been flying, and we wanted to make him accountable for it.
Even though there were 16 people in the balloon, investigators say it was not overloaded. That type of balloon can carry 20 200-pound people. Omar Villafranca, CBS News, Maxwell, Texas.
The National Transportation Safety Board says a preliminary examination of the balloon did not find any defects or malfunctions.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has now issued a travel advisory for a small part of Florida that is the center of a Zika virus outbreak. Health leaders now say 14 people have been diagnosed with Zika. They had been within a 1-mile area just north of downtown Miami. The travel advisory is asking pregnant women to stay away from that area. And the CDC says any pregnant women who traveled there since June 15th should be tested for Zika. Health leaders say intensive mosquito spraying is not working as well as they had hoped.
2 nonprofit organizations will share a grant to provide fresh food to more people around central Kentucky. Food Chain provides food education and hands-on training, and Glean KY gathers and redistributes extra fruits and vegetables from farmers to feed the hungry. The 2 organizations will share a $450,000 grant to expand their efforts in central Kentucky. Food Chain will build a teaching and a processing kitchen at its West 6th Street location in Lexington. Glean KY will use its share of the grant to expand its operations into more central Kentucky counties.
All right, less waste out there of some of the vegetables and the fruits that are available. Yeah. Coming next, we'll have a look at some of the stories our news team is working on for you this Tuesday morning.
We'll also have another look at your morning forecast.
Good morning. About to hit 4:57 on WKYT this morning on your Tuesday. Glad you're up and at it, stirring this morning.
Yeah, let's get going, right? It's time to take a look right now at some of the stories we're working on for you.
A Southern Kentucky minister and business owner accused in a high-profile triple murder in Boyle County is going to be in court today. More on what to expect in that case is just ahead in our next half hour.
And let's get a look at what's happening with the weather with Micah.
Yeah, we still have those heavy downpours down toward the southeast, getting bits and pieces of some showers across 75 north and back toward the east. Now, the heaviest rain obviously is down south, though, and it continues to move toward the hazard region very quickly. So Buckhorn now getting in the heaviest rain hazard. You are next in line across the Howard Roger Parkway here in just about 15 to 20 minutes. But it is leaving areas that do have flash flood warnings until 8:30 and 9 a.m. So we're going to be talking all about that for this morning, but this afternoon looks much, much better, at least for some spots. I'll have that coming up with another hour of WKYT News.